Welcome back to the Bright Side of Beauty podcast presented by Beyond Skin Aesthetics. Today, I am joined by my friend Victoria. She is truly a mogul when it comes to building your aesthetics brand from the ground up. She has diversified herself in so many different areas, and I've been dying to get her onto the podcast to really pick her brain on how she came up with the idea for her, at this point, multiple brands, as well as how to execute everything into the success that she has found in her business so far. So, without further ado, Victoria, welcome to the Bright Side of Beauty podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be on, and I just thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. And we're going to plug some fun things towards the end of the podcast where we're actually going to be in the same place a couple times in the next year. But I would love to
Yeah.
start just with how you got into the aesthetics industry. I know a little bit about your story, but I would love for you to just kind of give us like a good outline of how you got into the industry.
I've been an esthetician for over 8 years now. It's been a fun journey, but my first job was actually at Massage Envy. So I got my license when I was 19 years old. I was a new mom, and from there, my first job was Massage Envy, and I didn't understand what my passion was at that time because I had graduated school, and I feel like when you first graduate, you're figuring it out, right? You're trying to figure out what type of esthetician you want to be. But long story short, I started at Massage Envy, thought that I hated being an esthetician because I didn't want to do fluffy facials all day, and fast forward to discovering medical aesthetics. That's where I truly found my passion a few years later. And I got my first med spa job, and I really just discovered again my passion for medical aesthetics because that was really when I got to truly understand skin health and ingredients that work well. So treating anti-aging, acne, all the amazing transformations. And I worked at a few med spas, and this was probably about 5 years. I worked for other places, and then I started my own, or 4 years, and then I started my own business and took the leap of faith to go solo. So I've been solo for about 3 years now, and I've built multiple businesses. I'm so excited of what I have brought to the aesthetic space, and just exciting plans for the future as well.
You've carved paths in the industry that have, I mean, truly, you have been the first in multiple different areas. One of them, I feel like your building of your Patreon has been something where you kind of showed estheticians, like, yes, there's education out there to be found. Also,
Mhm.
this is how you can educate others. And I think that that is so cool. But first, okay, before we go in that direction, let's go backwards. So when you started in medical aesthetics, did you start in the treatment room? Did you start as a receptionist? A lot of people ask me how to cut
Ooh,
into aesthetics, like when it comes to the medical side. How did you
that
find
is
your way that direction?
that's an amazing question. I actually started as a receptionist. I couldn't land a job anywhere. It was crazy. I thought that it would be really easy moving from California to Florida, having so many hours and all the requirements, but it was really hard for me to find a job. And so I was trying to think outside of the box. So I decided to work at a med spa as a receptionist. And again, this is where I found my love for medical aesthetics. I actually didn't even really know I didn't know that it existed. And it was just a whole new world for me, and I fell in love with aesthetics and just transforming people's skin in such a different way. I mean, of course, this job comes with making people feel good, and it's also the connections that we make with our clients, but truthfully, seeing results is what fuels my passion in aesthetics.
Absolutely. And it can be very overwhelming when you're going from the aesthetic space in general to medical aesthetics. It is a completely different world. There's so much
Oh,
to
yeah.
it. There's so much information, even when it comes to learning the different skincare lines, how they play in the treatment room versus at home. Oh my gosh, all
Absolutely.
the different types of peels, all the different devices, all of the things. It can be very
Yeah.
overwhelming. I always, when people reach out and say, okay, I want to cut into medical aesthetics, what should I do? I truthfully always say, try for front desk, patient experience coordinator, something of that manner, because you're going to get the training of the what's what. You're going to learn how to
Yeah.
talk about all of the services, all the different products. And then you can also be getting experience in the treatment room without trying to do it all at the exact same time. It's a great place to kind of tiptoe in and transition. And
Mhm.
as long as you are being very intentional with how you're doing that transition, you can
Oh,
definitely get
yeah.
locked in.
I completely agree. I feel like me working at the front desk helped me build the foundations to even run my own business to where I am at today. I mean, studying verbiage and really learning treatments and products without jumping in, because I think it's
Yeah.
really important for you to work for somebody else before you go on your own. That's my piece of advice, is make sure that you don't jump into it just because it looks glamorous on social media, because there's so much more that goes into it. And I'm so thankful that I started as a receptionist, because I really got to study and slowly get myself into the treatment room. I mean, I fought my way up to becoming an esthetician from the front desk, because I was hungry. You have to be hungry. You have to really put your foot in the door when you're competing against so many other people, right? You have to have that passion that fuels into that as well.
I love exactly what you just said. You have to be hungry, and that
Mhm.
is just success in general. And it does
Yeah.
not matter what line of business that you're in, but I hear so often that the aesthetics industry is so saturated. And
Mhm.
truthfully, is it booming? Is it the it job to have right now? I would say so. I think everybody
Yeah.
wants to be in aesthetics. It's kind of like the bright shiny object at the moment.
Yeah.
However, there is plenty of room at the table for everyone to have success in
Absolutely.
their own way. And that comes down to the branding. It comes down to just the education that you're getting and the path that you decide to carve for yourself. But you have to be hungry. It's not going to be handed to you. And that's the same thing no matter what industry you're in, whether it's aesthetics
Mhm.
or some other completely different industry. You have to be
Yeah.
hungry and work for it. And I have
No,
definitely
absolutely.
I followed you for, oh my gosh, I want to say about I think it's about 3 years. I think it's right as you were going solo and starting your own business was right when I started
Wow.
following you. And it has been so fun
That's
to watch you
amazing.
grow. It's just
Thank you for supporting me that long. That's crazy.
yes, absolutely. It's I think you were still living in Florida when I first found your account, which is why
Wow.
I think that I'm so drawn to you because I truly have seen you grow this entire time where then we were connected just from mutual
Wow.
friends and then we're able to become
Yeah.
Insta friends here. But
I
um
know.
what oh go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say it's so funny because I never know how to really tell my story, because I've been in California, that's where I started my career, then I moved to Florida, and now I'm back in Arizona, so it's such a long story of where I've been.
Yes, you have been truly everywhere. And honestly, kind of sidestepping there, I'm sure that that also has developed your skills so well because those are three completely different climates. Where were you at in California?
Oh, yeah. I was in Northern California, and honestly,
Yep.
it's so nice because you get all seasons there. Of course, your skin changes with the seasons, but a lot of my clients, it's funny because how I treated skin in Florida is completely different than Arizona. I'm not kidding. It's your skin needs so much hydration in Arizona. I have talked to people who have moved from Florida to Arizona, and they're like, my skin is not the same. It literally makes your skin like a cactus, I always say. It's like you're a
Yeah.
living, walking cactus in Arizona.
That is so true. I lived in Florida for a short stint and I honestly had the best skin of my life when I was living in Florida.
I know, me
It's
too.
amazing. And then when I moved back to Ohio, it was a totally different ball game. I had to switch everything back up again, but I haven't had more of like that Western dryness, like just that like
Yeah,
heat and dry. Cactus is the perfect way to put it. I could go so many different directions with that. But
I
yes,
know.
I love that your brain is able to just truly soak all of that knowledge in though from all those different areas and then put
Yeah.
that into your business. So you went solo about 3 years ago. Was that when you were moving from Florida to Arizona? Is that when you made the jump?
No, so it was fairly quickly after I moved to Arizona, but I got a job out here at a med spa, and I felt like I truly wasn't living I was living my passion, but it wasn't in my way, if that makes sense. I mean,
Yes.
everything was based on sales, and it was very robotic, and it made me start to not feel as fueled with my passion. So my thought process was, okay, if I'm not going to work here, it's going to be the same thing somewhere else. Why not build something beautiful of my own? Yes, it's scary. I started with 0 clients in a new state within 6 months of moving to Arizona, and it was the scariest thing that I've ever done, but again, going back to being hungry, there are
Yeah.
s it's not like I just opened up my doors and everybody came flying in. I worked a job, decided to go solo. My husband actually really pushed us and pushed me, which I'm very thankful to have him by my side because he is my biggest supporter. He just really helps shape and guide me because in this industry it can be really lonely. So it's really nice to have especially a husband that supports you in that way. So I went for it. We were the biggest thing that helped us was that we had 1 month free and we were like, we're gonna figure it out in a month. It doesn't matter what it takes.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And speaking from somebody that works with a family member, I think that it is honestly the biggest gift to work
Yeah,
alongside your family member.
absolutely.
I've had several people say, "Oh my gosh, how do you do that? I could never do it." But I think once you do it and you figure out your flow, it really is a
Oh yeah.
blessing because you're kind of I like to say that I live a life first business, and that's the type of business that we want to have at BSA. And what that means truly is that we are putting our life first. Our priority is our family and living life to the fullest. And then our passion is our business. And so we have that hunger and that drive for our business, but it all goes back to what kind of freedom we want in our lives. And when you work with a family member, you get to spend time with them every single day and you get to see them
Mhm,
in such a intimate way of how they're creative and how their passions kind of ebb and flow through their lives and how
mhm.
they develop and grow. And that's it's really cool that you get to do that with your husband. Did he know anything about the aesthetics industry before you jumped into it together?
Yeah, it's actually funny. So, I don't know if you followed me, but I used to have an account. It was called Skin by Victoria. That was where I
Yeah.
posted all my I was had a lot more I guess education on that. I mean, not that I don't now, but I had a lot of talking head reels, things like that. That was like when reels were popping off and it was finally I was like, "Oh my gosh, something's working."
Yeah.
But sorry, what was the question again?
Did he know anything about the aesthetics industry before you jumped
Yes,
into it?
he
Good.
did. So he sorry, back to the story. So my husband, he actually when I worked at the med spa in Florida, he had this wild idea because my husband has obviously background in, videography, photography, but he had this idea. He was like, "Well, what if we brought high quality to the aesthetic space?" And I was like, "Ooh, that sounds fun and really creative." So he actually brought that idea to our business in my Instagram. So I remember the first time we posted it, and it was this crazy high quality video with a backdrop of me speaking. Everyone was like, "How did you do that? Oh my gosh." Everyone was like messaging me and they were so confused because it was something that had never been in the space before. So with that being said, he learned a lot through me speaking and him recording me. And he just really he was also hungry and he was like, "How can we make this better? How can you talk about hyaluronic acid in a more engaging way?" So he has been through it all with me. And yes, he knows a lot about aesthetics and just us building the business together. He he knows so much. He knows way more than he should. It's hilarious. The way that he speaks about skincare, because he's done some video shoots for some local estheticians or med spa owners, and the way that he speaks about skincare, they laugh so hard because they're like, "You should not be knowing this as a guy." Like, it's so funny.
He's been slowly trained through you training other people.
Yes, exactly, but he listens to me talk all day long about skincare and aesthetics, so no, the answer is no, he didn't, but we learned and grew together, and then that's
Yeah.
how, Skin by You just really evolved into us opening our own business together, and he does have background in marketing, so we just
Okay.
put 2 of our talents together and, me being the face of the brand, but him being the brains, not saying that I don't have brains, but I give a lot of credit to Chris and just the creative side of Skin by You.
I think every business needs both of those things though. If
Yeah.
you have two people that want to be the face, It
Mhm.
can work, but you have to have somebody that has that creative edge. And I say that about my mom all the time. So, my mom is one of our co founders, and I get to work with her every single day, which is really fun now that my son comes to work with me because it's like he's always with one of the two of us. And it just
Mhm.
truly is like the
Aw.
encapsulation of life first business. But I always say that she is the brains of the operation that can see around the corner before
Mhm.
anybody else can. And that really is an edge in any industry. If you can see what's coming before everybody else can, that can give you a leg up in a way of you can be preparing yourself and making that pivot with plenty of time to have success in the other side. So I think
Yeah.
that that's a perfect balance for you both to have that. And it honestly, both of you having that drive, I'm sure it feeds off of each other too. Of
Oh, yeah.
what if we tried this? What if we tried this? Let's try this.
Mhm.
And it's just
Yeah,
fun.
I think it's really important to have somebody in your life when you are a business owner that can help fuel you, because I know that as a business owner, it's really easy to get burned out. So having somebody that's constantly, if it's so funny because sometimes when I'm feeling discouraged, Chris is fired up. So, when he's feeling discouraged, I'm fired up sometimes. So it really helps us to push each other, get out of our comfort zones, and really just help solidify things and help us to grow together. I mean, you need people in your life when you own your business to help guide you. And sometimes we need other ideas too, because it can be really lonely in the aesthetics industry. I mean, I can
Yeah.
have an idea and Chris can give me three off of just one idea. So it's really amazing to be able to work together. And especially us being a husband and wife duo, it is really special. Like you said, everyone's like, "How do you do it?" I would kill my spouse if I worked with him. And it's just, I mean, it's organic. It happens. I mean, it happens so naturally. So if you can find somebody like that in the aesthetics industry, whether it's another fellow esthetician, med spa owners, anything like that, it's so important.
It is. It's so important. So, jumping back to you creating together this new path in the aesthetics industry of bringing high quality content to the
Mhm.
industry, that is actually right when I started following you because it did pop
Wow.
off and it drew attention. And
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure your reels were being sent to everyone, whether it be the solo SDs or like from the medical aesthetic side of things, of like, oh my gosh, what if we created stuff like this? This is so good. And it's getting so much information out there where we could educate our patients or we could draw attention to our page. That was that kind of the birthplace of your Patreon in a way? Is that kind of what started the education strain?
It was actually, so Patreon, I don't know if you're familiar with, there's a lot of injectors on Patreon. So it's something that is not in the, I feel like there's really no estheticians on Patreon, which I wish
Mm-mm.
that there was more so that we can create more of a, community on there with other fellow estheticians. Like you could subscribe like you do injectors, but Patreon was actually built off of Skin by You because so many people were messaging us asking for resources of so many different things. It wasn't just
Yeah.
how to shoot and edit, it was how do you build a successful business. I had fellow estheticians asking me protocols, and I just we just felt like there was such a big gap in the aesthetics industry when it came to community and education. So that's where Patreon was really born. We were considering a few other platforms like their school, but Patreon just felt really easy and organic. And there's a lot of cool tools on there. So it actually fed off of Skin by You. And we wanted to do something like this for years, but never felt like it was the right time. But that's the biggest thing that will stop you with anything. If we would have started sooner, I do believe that there's a place to like almost know that you're providing value, but like there's also seasons where you may not have been able to keep up with that, you know,
Yeah.
whatever you're doing in that moment. So yeah, Skin by You, again, it was Skin by Victoria. Then a crazy story happened with that account. So when I started Skin by You, I kind of just retired Skin by Victoria, and just everything that I've built has been built off of Skin by You.
Wait, is it a completely different page?
Skin by Victoria and Skin by You.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Skin by Victoria is a completely different page.
I
I
had
never
no
changed the
idea.
name. It's a completely new account. So I started my business with 0 followers on Skin by You.
Oh my gosh. Wait, how large did Skin by Victoria grow before
I
you
think
switched
it
over to Skin by
grew
You?
to 20,000 followers. I had this hand picture that went viral, and yeah, I got so many followers from
Yeah.
that, and then when Reels started getting traction and my Reels were such high quality, that's how I really gained my presence in the aesthetics industry, and I did a lot, again, of talking head videos, so that was when
Yeah.
it was like, "How do you do that? What are you doing?"
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a big jump to just decide to retire a page that has 20,000 followers. Did you
Yeah,
build
I think it
up
has 17,000 now because I never use it.
nothing on
Everyone and
it?
their mom unfollowed me, apparently.
I swear I still follow you, and I had no idea that they were separate pages. In my brain,
Yes,
they were
they're
all
separate
one
pages.
page. Oh my
You just
gosh.
thought I changed my username?
I did. I totally just thought you changed your username.
That's
So
so
I don't
funny.
know when I followed your Skin by You page then, because I followed Skin
That's
by
so
Victoria.
funny.
That is I am learning all sorts of things today. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know my
That's
story gets a little bit confusing because not only did I live in 3 different states, and I also had 2 different accounts. So,
yes.
Skin by You is the one and only, that's where everything has really, I mean, obviously
Yeah.
Skin by Victoria, that's where everything started, but how I solidified myself in this space, I would say, and just created a brand for myself is Skin by You.
And then you have Optimized Aesthetics. So really you have 3
Yeah.
pages from 3
Yes.
states. So
Yes, that one's also a separate page. Optimized Aesthetics, is something so special that I'm really proud that we brought to the space, and it is we have over 1,500 members. It has been so amazing to help so many estheticians or even med spa owners. We have a few in
Mhm.
there as well, but the solo esthetician road can be really lonely, like just a
Mhm.
business owner in general. So having support, having this community, and it's literally me in this platform. I think that some people think that maybe I have like a team or something, but that it's literally just my subscription, my platform. Um,
Yeah.
we did bring on our first employee, which is exciting.
Yeah.
That was a big move for our business, but yeah, it's amazing to hear all the great feedback of the ways that we've transformed people's aesthetics business.
Absolutely. And I think that honestly, the loneliness of being a solo SD is also what leads to what I kind of call the like copy and paste mentality. I think that a lot
Mhm.
of people, because there aren't a lot of conversations on how you can diversify yourself just
Yeah.
from, your neighbor on your page, but also just in your business going so many different directions. And that is something that you are showing people how to do. You don't have
Yeah.
to be the copy paste brand where you just pull up any esthetician and you have no idea whose page you're on because they all look alike or
Oh,
they
yeah.
all talk alike or they all post very similar things together. It
Uh-huh.
really it's you've kind of cut this road of be yourself and the right clients are going to come to you.
Oh, yeah.
And it sounds like it came a lot from Chris saying, "Let's bring high quality to the industry." Is
Yeah.
that kind of where did you have that mindset going into it or was that just a very natural progression in your business?
Well, I actually wanted to like so my Instagram was so bland. It was a copy and paste like everybody else's.
Mhm.
And I told Chris, I really want to make educational videos. I want to talk on the camera more. I really want to make a name for myself. And his creative brain goes, well, we're not going to just shoot with a regular iPhone. We're going to do the whole production. We bought a
Yeah.
backdrop. We were dirt poor. We put it on a credit card. We had that. We've also put a credit card, a big fancy, expensive camera. I think our first camera was actually a Sony, and then we upgraded to Canon eventually, but we put everything on a credit card, started from scratch, and just went for it, and that's really where you have to think outside of the box is really creating a brand for yourself is you have to have a niche. Like that's really important. So building off of that, you can't just be like everybody else. Yes, you can be inspired by people, but you still
Mhm.
have to be yourself. You have to think outside of the box. So he's like, we're not going to just shoot a regular video with an iPhone. Everybody's doing that. So we're going to
Mhm.
take it to the next level, do something that's not in the space. And again, just finding ways how you can bring creativity and be your own person in the aesthetic space because it is really hard to stand out. I mean, there is a lot of us, but it's also easy in a sense because you can have more tools and resources like my Patreon where you can learn how to do that.
Yes, absolutely. I love the name of your account too, Skin by You, because to
Thank
me,
you.
that is truly like there's only one you. And when it
Yeah.
comes to you educating other estheticians, if every single esthetician looked at their brand as themselves in a way, I feel like that's a double-edged sword, and we can also get into that. But if
Yeah.
if every esthetician looked at it into like, I'm selling myself, I'm selling what value I have to bring to the table,
Yeah.
and did a self-reflection on who am I? What do I like? What kind of people do I like in my
Mhm.
chair? Like, do I want to talk the entire time that I'm doing a service? Do I want to have more of that relaxing, like lights off, you know, music kind of low in the background, no
Yeah.
talking type service? I'm definitely more of like the bright colors. I have like feel good music playing and we're talking about life type side, but there's a lane for every single person. And then how do you get that brand to show online so that you are attracting the right people to you? That's
Mhm.
where I feel like the magic is in that. And then
Oh,
aside from
yeah.
that, you have your personal brand, but then you also have your professional brand with Optimized Aesthetics, and they kind of overlap. It's your face on both of them. But
Yeah.
how do you intentionally kind of separate those two?
As far as well, okay, so I think it's really important, to not flood people on your biz on your Instagram if you're starting another business. Does that make sense? So, how I organically did it with Skin by You is I don't just shove it in people's faces 24/7. I think it's really important if people follow you for a reason that you're not flooding them with something else, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So really just separating the two, by if you're an esthetician or a client, you can follow me. Like this, you follow me for me, right? So separating yourself, making it not like your whole identity. So that's why it's really important to keep the two brands separate. That way people can get to know you and what the brand is and why they follow you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's tough because I think that when you're pouring your heart and soul into something, you want to share it everywhere that you can get it.
Yeah.
So if you have multiple accounts, you're like, let me just reshare it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, we're just
No,
going to do it
totally.
this way.
I mean, Instagram is just always a game. It's something that it's so inconsistent, unfortunately. Instagram, I mean, I think people they chase trends, they chase what everybody else is doing, and trends do not equal clients, most of the time. And going back to what you said on creating a brand for yourself and how you show up on social media, like, you want the experience online to match the in person. So if you're
Mhm.
chasing trends and things like that, they're gonna be confused when they come in and there's not relaxing spa music playing, if that's not the type of esthetician that you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Or vice versa. If you are like a super fun esthetician in the treatment room, but you're putting this like relaxing aura online, people are going to come and be like, whoa, thought I was
Yeah,
coming
what
in
is
here.
happening? It doesn't match the vibe.
Yes, vibes not matching. This is not working
Yes.
1,000,000%. What I think is also so cool about what you are doing in our industry is you are taking this online training, your Patreon, your Instagram, all of the things, and you are turning it into a real life in person event with the aesthetic
Yes,
experience. Can we
we are
talk about
so
that for a little bit?
excited. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this event. It's something that I feel is not in the space at all, because when we think about events or trade shows, things like
Yeah.
that, you're constantly being sold to, or, I mean, I think there is a place for trade shows because you want to get, you want to learn more, you want to invest in your business, things like that. But I think a lot of the time is that what it misses is like community. So,
Mhm.
again, and not being sold to by a million brands. So this experience, hence the name, the aesthetic experience. We're bringing something so different to the aesthetic space because you're coming, you're learning, you're actually building connections, and it's exclusive because you're not in a crowded ballroom, you're not with thousands of people together, and you can leave with lifelong relationships that and for you to invest in your business. I mean, there's education, there's also going to be fun with lunch and dinner and a dance party. So it really is the best of both worlds because you're not only learning and educating, but you're making real life connections with others in the industry. And again, just so excited to bring this event to the space.
And it's very exclusive. It's what, 150 seats available
Yeah,
total?
160. Yeah, 160. So we're
Yeah.
already more than halfway sold out. So I'm excited to
Yeah.
see how fast tickets will go for the remaining of them.
I love it, and I love the speakers that you have as well. Our mutual
Yes.
friend Jared is one of them, and I trust him with
Yes.
all things. I trust him with my life, my laughter, all things. He just
Yeah, he is amazing. I love Jared.
he's like
I
the
know, I'm
piano
so
man of
thankful for
aesthetics.
his yeah, no, he's amazing. He's a gem in the industry.
He really is. Who else are you having at the event? I know I'm kind of putting you on
So
the spot here, and you've got several. So
yeah, no. So we have me, I'm teaching on how to build a premium brand. And then we have Miracle the SD. She's going to be teaching on the roadmap to six figures and success. And Jared is going to be speaking on general marketing. So SEO, website, how that converts into clients. And then the next, once we finish up with lunch, then we're going to go into more education. So acne one on one, ingredient knowledge, and then retail sales one on one. So we're really excited. We're also going to have a podcast panel. So
oh, cool.
we're going to have sorry, I keep saying podcast because of
Our
aesthetic next.
yes.
I keep saying podcast panel because I'm going to be on it. I apologize. We're going to have a social media panel. So we're going to go over what has worked for socials, what is really the importance of it, and how to really stand out as a brand.
Absolutely. Okay, perfect segue into we are also going to be at Aesthetic Next in Dallas. Well, first, so
Yes.
the Aesthetic Experience is going to be in Scottsdale in February. It's the end of February, right?
Yes.
Of next
Yes.
year. We are going
I
to
know. So
be
crazy.
at Aesthetic Next in September. It's the
Yeah.
week of Labor Day there. And we're going to be speaking on a panel together, the podcasting panel, Voices of Aesthetics, I think is what it's called. Very
Yeah.
I feel like it's like very regal too. I
I
love it.
know, it's so classy.
Yes, it's so good. And have you ever been to Aesthetic Next before?
I have not. This will be my first time.
You're gonna love it. It's amazing. I feel like it's a great mashup of they're really building out the esthetician track or what they're calling the skincare track, but then they also have clinical 1 and 2 for injectors, for functional medicine and wellness. Then they also have the business track, which I feel like is equally as important to kind of
Yeah,
all blend together.
very.
I swear it's a fashion show in itself. Everybody just enjoys not being in scrubs or their work attire. So everybody shows
Yes,
up, has cute outfits on and everything.
so nice.
What other shows have you been to that you really like that you feel like people could gain some sort of benefit from?
So, funny story is I actually have never been to a trade show before.
Shut the front door. Really?
Yeah.
You've never been to
Yeah.
like IECSC
Nope.
or anything
I've
at all?
never been. I mean, okay, so I had kids really young.
Yeah.
I had kids really young. Well, kids. I had one child really young. So my world of getting out and because I've only been in like having my own business for 3 years. So
Yeah.
I had a kid really young and I was only 20 years old. So my resources and like babysitting and everything, I feel like we're just now getting out in the world and doing this.
I feel that because I've definitely had to rein it in a little bit. I feel like my business partner, Katie, and I were bouncing around like once a month we were somewhere. And
Yeah.
now that I have a 3-month-old, I have to really strategize where I'm going and what the plan is when I get there. So it
Yeah.
is, I
I
totally
know.
feel that. It's
It's
all good.
crazy. I know I did
Yeah.
have FOMO of the trade show that was just going on right now in Vegas. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, I see
IECSC.
everyone posting. We're actually planning on hopefully having a booth next year. So I'm just like, go big or go home. I really want I want to be there and I want to really connect with others in the space. So like if we're there,
Yeah.
I want a booth and I want to be able to talk to people all day and just really connect with others in the industry because that's what I'm all
Yeah.
about. I'm all about community connections and just really something that's not in the space as much.
Yeah, absolutely. Bringing in a brand new chapter to aesthetics for
Yes,
sure. I have not
absolutely.
been to Vegas. I have been to I guess, I think they're calling it Miami now, but it used to be Fort Lauderdale, IECSE.
Oh
I've also never been
yeah.
to the New York one. I feel like they're also vastly different. And then you
Yeah.
have like the Science of Skincare Summit, obviously Aesthetic Next. You
Yes.
start getting a little bit more niche. It's,
Yeah.
there's so much out there, but also not enough.
I
Like,
know, I know. And everything is so unique, I think every, event has its place, So
mhm,
again, that's why I'm really excited to bring something different to this space because I could have an event where it's just a bunch of brands in the same room and everyone's like, "Okay, I want it to be general knowledge, not like I don't even carry your line," Like, "How
yeah,
can I learn this and implement this?" And I think that's
right.
what's really important as an esthetician is you need to know general skincare knowledge. Like you should not solely focus on a brand.
Mhm.
That's really important to like know your ingredients, know how you can really work with certain lines and not depend on it.
Absolutely. You never know when you're going to have to pivot in your
Yeah.
brand. And I mean, just like we all have our own companies, these skincare brands are a company. So if
Yeah.
they need to reformulate or if they need to completely transfer and suddenly they're direct to consumer and they don't have to go through the esthetician or somebody that has a medical director or anything like that, you have to be prepared for that and be ready to pivot for your bottom line but also for what's best for your clients. If you're no longer
Mhm.
getting results from a brand, you have to be ready to go. You've
Yeah.
kind of ridden that roller coaster through even just like the last 3 years of the brands that you carry. How do you decide what brands that you carry and what direction you're going next?
I think it's really important to look at your clients and
Mhm.
figure out what the gaps are in your business. So, I actually started my business with Skin Better, which is kind of crazy starting from 0. But I truly love Skin Better. I believe in it. I that was one of the conditions that I had. I'm like if I don't have devices or, anything, I'm gonna at least have a good skincare line for results to start with. So that was like my
Mhm.
non-negotiable. So making sure number one that it's results driven, and number two is something that really resonates with you, something that you truly believe in, and that's why I was able to sell Skin Better so well was because I truly believed in it and I loved it, and I used it for myself for years, and that again. And then once I grew my business, I figured out holes that were missing in my
Mhm.
business. So hence why I brought on Face Reality because for me, Skin Better just was not doing it for my acne clients. I know everyone has different opinions on that, but
Yeah.
when people are going through my boot camp program, they're specifically on one line to start, and then we graduate them into other products. So I do still carry some Face Reality, but I have switched over to a lot of my products. From Face Reality to Mixi Skincare. So the Mandelic, the benzoyl peroxide, the cleanser, basically all the essentials for my business.
I love that. So at this point, are you still staying like pretty firm in you're using one line for the boot camp and then you're graduating like in today? Or has that just been like your method up until today?
It has changed a little bit over time. So, for instance, if somebody has severely dehydrated skin and nothing's really doing it, I will bring in, Trio moisturizer from Skin Better or just,
Mhm.
Hydrinity, Hyacin Active Mist or, the restorative serum. So, there are other products that I will bring in. But typically, when you see my acne transformations on Instagram, they're strictly on one product line, and then they'll
Mhm.
eventually graduate to other products in their routine. Because I think it's
Yeah.
really important to be consistent with a line, and then because you never know what one product is going to make their skin have an adverse reaction or what could be hindering their progress.
And that absolutely goes back to having a knowledge of actual skincare formulation, how
Mhm.
everything interacts together, how that works on the skin in each different skin type, and kind of
Absolutely.
random thing that's thrown your direction because you could have somebody that has acne, but it could be one of like 6 or 7 different types of acne. So
Yeah,
you really have to know
absolutely.
skin and you really have to know ingredients and how they interact. And not only that, but formulations and delivery methods of the products to know how to get them all to work together in the right way, in the right order.
Yeah.
It all goes back to that
Absolutely.
education.
Do you
100%.
mix product lines as well?
We do,
Or
yes, for sure. We are definitely of the cherry picking type. I'm
yes, I love
really
cherry picking.
I would say I'm very strong with that. Right now, so we have a acne boot camp as well as a rosacea boot camp, or I call it the rosacea relief program because it just sounds a little bit
Oh,
more
that's so
fluffy,
that's so good.
but it's a rosacea boot camp, just like an acne
Yeah.
boot camp. And for those, it really is cherry picked of the best products for that
Mhm.
person's skin. I've spent so much time trial and error figuring out exactly what to use, but it all goes back to knowing how things for I would not cherry pick without knowing truly the science behind it, matching up. I'm a white paper to white paper person. So like
Yeah.
I look into the white papers of what are the studies. and how are they delivering, and then matching that up to the product next to it type person.
Absolutely.
So
I know, and I just saw you using all 3 plated products in your story. I
I'm
love plated.
obsessed.
Or like when you said cherry picking, the first thing I thought it was just I love plated. That's like my new favorite product, and plated intense right now. It's my one of my favorite products to cherry pick.
It is so incredible and it fits with everything,
Yeah,
literally everything.
literally everything. It's so good.
And that's actually a really good point. So, okay, going on my plated little tangent here too. So many people ask me, okay, but why do I need plated and this other thing? And the way that I explain it is plated is truly fixing the cell so that you have the strongest cell possible. And then you
Yep.
have other product lines that are helping that cell to thrive and bloom. So it's almost like plated truly is like the seeds, and then you're watering the seeds with like these other skincare products. I just feel like
Absolutely.
plated has a place in every single regimen.
Oh,
And
yeah.
whether it's intense or whether it's hair, I need them all.
Yeah.
I need them
The
all in my
results
life.
are insane, and, like, the technology is crazy. It's such a good
Yes.
product, and I think everybody needs plated in their life.
1,000,000%. Have you used plaited hair?
Yes, my hair is
So
growing,
obsessed.
like crazy. I have these little baby hairs that are sticking up.
Yeah.
I have to put them down. It's so, and especially after you have kids, I feel like your hair is so different. Oh my gosh.
It's
I
so different.
feel like a bald, naked mole rat sometimes in some areas.
I swear if I did not have plaited hair, like using it religiously, I would have no hair on my head because the amount of fallout that you have, especially now that like I'm 3
Yes.
months postpartum, I'm in that it's come like every time I brush my hair, I have to clean out my brush and it is
Yeah.
disgusting, but it's
Oh
so
my
real.
gosh.
But luckily, I call them hair boners, but I have all these like little like hairs sticking up
That's so
everywhere
funny. Oh my gosh.
because
I
that's
know it
really
looks
what it is.
crazy. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. And you have
I really need them.
such young kiddos. How are you doing?
I'm doing. I'm just
Yes.
doing.
Surviving, right? And the
Yes.
twins, right?
No, no, no. I have one son. His
Oh,
name's Easton. He
why do
is
I, like, feel like you had twins? What the heck?
I don't
That would be
know.
crazy.
Probably
Maybe
because
I don't know. Maybe I just saw somebody else's story that had
I
twins.
swear, like I think that the aesthetics industry is all in this like phase of having babies right now. There are babies
Yes.
everywhere. Like
I know.
everyone's pregnant having babies at the
Please
same
don't
time.
bring that to me. I'm done. It's
It
so
is
hard, like, having kids and having a business.
It is so hard, so hard. That is something that, like, I thought that I was mentally prepared for, and 2, I'm going into this new phase. I unexpectedly became a single mother, and it is a totally different world doing it solo, number 1, but also being a business owner with a
Yeah,
newborn or with an I guess he's not a newborn anymore. He's gonna be a
I
newborn to
know.
me at a year old. Like, I'm
I
just
know, a newborn.
Yes.
They stay newborn for the first year, I get it.
Yes, but, having this
I
little
was expecting
baby
this tiny baby.
you right, like, you're just like, "He's so squishable," but, there are other days I look at him and I'm like, "What happened to my newborn? Because you used to be, like, this big and now you're a giant."
Yeah,
And I don't
it's
like,
crazy.
did it happen overnight? I think it happened overnight. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. It's so hard, it's crazy. They grow way too fast, and then they have attitude, then they start talking and yelling at you.
Yeah.
My daughter is
I
like a sassy pants.
Oh my gosh, I swear the biggest financial savings in my entire life was having a boy. Because if I had a girl, there would be princess dresses and bows
Oh,
everywhere.
it is so hard
Oh
to
my gosh.
control yourselves when you have a girl, because like, boy clothes
Yes.
are cute, but you can pass on a lot of them.
Yeah,
You can go to
absolutely.
Target and not go crazy, but when you have a girl and you go to
Mhm.
Target, forget it.
Okay, this is a very serious question about boys. Speaking of, do boys just come into the world loving cars? Is that just a thing? My
Mine?
3-month-old is obsessed with cars.
Are you
At 3 months
serious?
old, it is the
Wait,
weirdest
that's
thing.
so funny. I guess they all have their little personalities and their
Yeah,
things, but I feel like my son was very different though. He was not into the regular things that boys were. I mean,
yeah.
he liked dirt. I would say he loved dirt. That was it, but
Yeah.
I think it was my fault though, because I was a stay-at-home mom for 2 years, and I was like, "We are not going outside and touching bugs. This is" I'm like, "Don't bring that to me."
So now that's what he loves to do. He's like, "This is a whole new
Oh, yeah,
world."
no, he that's all he does now. He's 8 years old, and ever since he was with dad, he's like Taught him some things that I'm like, I would have never.
I love that. That was you were totally right. They all have, like, their own little things, and Easton might be a race car driver at some point. My dad watches NASCAR every Sunday, and that is Easton's favorite thing to do, and it's the only thing he's interested in when it comes to a screen is watching NASCAR, but the second that he sees a car, he's glued. Doesn't matter if it's a plane, train, anything else.
Hilarious.
He is only into the
I know.
automobiles. Like, that is it.
That is so funny.
It's
How
so
do you
cute.
get? Because I mean, you're killing it because,
Thank
I
you.
mean, everything you're so strong, number 1, so you're doing it. How
Thank
do
you.
you work and have kids? Like, do you have support? Do you have help?
Oh my gosh. Yes. I was going to ask you the same question.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. I'm very lucky that my tribe is the same group that I work with. I originally my I started working towards having what I call this life first business about a year and a half before I had Easton. And so I was really trying to prepare myself to be able to be kind of split between working from home and being in the office. I didn't want to be in the treatment room 24/7. And then of
Mhm.
course life has a funny way of changing very quickly, so that has kind of pivoted. But luckily my tribe is who I work with. So Easton is with me, my mom, or I call her my fairy godmother, Katie, but she's our business partner as well. And one of us always has him. So if Katie and I are in rooms, my mom has him, or we kind of just like float it back and forth. But it is a challenge. It is not, I feel like it can look very easy from the outside, but it is hard. What used to be a 40-hour work week for me of like and truthfully being a business owner, you have more than 40 hours worth of work, but what I could cram into 40 hours is now more like
Yeah.
80 hours because there's so many little pauses and you want to make sure that you're giving them all the attention that you can, but also you have your other baby, which is your business that you're
Yep.
trying to like keep on its feet to support the rest of your life. It is very hard. It is super hard.
Yeah.
So
It is.
I guess to answer your question, I lean on the support that I have. I have a lot of help and I just figure it out day by day. I look at every single
That's
day
incredible.
as its own thing and I just
Yeah.
face each day one at a time. What do
I
you
love
do?
that for you. We actually don't have any family in Arizona.
Yeah.
It's a challenge having 2 businesses and trying to manage it all, and we wanna be home with our kids. We wanna spend time with them, and we don't wanna I mean, I work about 2 to 3 days a week, and then the rest is dedicated to optimize aesthetics,
Yeah.
and not having family is really hard, but we just found an amazing babysitter, hallelujah, because it is so hard to find
Yeah.
a good babysitter. It's so hard to find somebody that you trust, number 1, and number 2 is that I mean, you want somebody pouring into your kids like you would, you know?
Mhm.
So, luckily we have that. So, yeah, I have a babysitter. That's how we handle it now, but for a
Yeah.
year, I was like, "No one's touching my baby. I'm not letting anybody because they can't speak for themselves, but,
Mhm.
man, it is so hard to manage it because one task, like you said, becomes like, instead of it being an hour task, it'll be a 3-hour task with kids. So
Yeah.
you just have to be patient, know how to work around it. There's a solution to every problem, right? So
Yeah.
our solution was finding an amazing babysitter, had to fire
Mhm.
a few to get a good one, but, I
Yeah.
mean, every business owner is gonna have different challenges, and every story is gonna look different, and I think that's what's so beautiful about the aesthetics industry is every successful person has a completely different story. That's
Mhm.
why I interview so many estheticians. It's so inspiring to hear other people's journeys, and it's never a copy and paste. So how can you expect your journey to look the exact same? There's no secret to success. There's no Of course we can have tools and resources, but you truly are your own person and your story is what makes you so unique.
You are absolutely spot on, nail in the head. Like that is I think I just said that phrase backwards, but
Yes, no, I get what you're
that is
saying.
spot on exactly it. Everybody has these different stories, and I think that it's really nice to be able to hear how people get to where they are, but also take what is valuable for you and leave the rest. You don't have to copy exactly what worked for somebody is not going to
Yeah,
work for you like each second of every single
ah,
day. You've gotta make it
absolutely.
fit for your own life. And I think that there's a lot of voices out there now that are sharing this is how I make it work and maybe it'll
Yeah,
work for you too. And that is such a
absolutely.
beautiful thing. But we're
Yeah,
kind of
and
all
I
in this
think that's
together.
why, me creating my Patreon, there's so many
Mhm.
tools and resources and videos for you to build what I built, but it will take years and patience, Like, I mean, Skin by
Mhm.
You wasn't just built overnight. Like, success is never overnight. So you like watch these videos, you implement. I mean, we have so many Patreon members that share their success stories from being a member of our Patreon and how it's transformed their business because they implemented it into their own way. They implemented
Mhm.
it into their business and how it worked for them. Yeah, they tried a few things. Maybe, you fall along the way a few times, but once you get the hang of things and the ball rolling, success is truly in your hands.
Yeah, absolutely. When you have that fire and that drive, it is inevitable. It's going to come.
Yeah.
You just have to keep on trying. And I love the quote of the only difference between you and somebody that has success is they've tried and failed more. And that
Yeah.
is like it, you
That's
just
so
got to
true.
throw the spaghetti at the wall, see what
Yeah,
sticks.
I know. I made
That's what you do
so
it.
many mistakes. I
Yeah.
like basically throwing money in the garbage, right? Because you don't know what you're doing.
Oh, and it feels so painful. But then you look at the
Yeah,
other side and you're like, okay, I had to waste all that money so that now I haven't figured out.
I know. I know my husband actually taught me he has like this online mentor that he listens to his YouTube videos and
Yeah.
well, he feels like a mentor, but he's like, it's either a lesson or a blessing. Like
Yes.
there's no wrong way. Like you either learn from it and either way it's a
Mhm.
blessing.
Oh my gosh, yes. I feel like that in every single aspect of life. There's nothing that I feel like you can go through that you can't take a lesson or a blessing from. And truthfully, most of the time it's both at the exact same
Yeah,
time. You're getting both out of it.
absolutely.
And
All
it's
the
just,
time.
it's beautiful. So, on that note, I love to ask all of my guests the same question, which is what is beautiful to you? And that could be something in like a material form or in a spiritual form, truly just what is beautiful to you. And you can have multiple answers if you
Yeah, I mean,
want.
the first thing I thought of was connections, like in the aesthetics industry. Again, I think my whole goal and my whole what makes me and fuels my passion is just community and connections. And I think it's just so beautiful that we're able to not only have that with our clients, but we have the opportunity to have that with our fellow peers. So I think that the esthetician community and just this industry as a whole obviously comes with so much beauty, but it also comes with so much on a deeper level than just beauty and aesthetics. It's connections again with your clients and your fellow peers. And I just think that's so beautiful that we get to wake up every day and do what we love.
Absolutely. Fellowship is the best thing. And being able to make eye contact or have that like physical touch side of it too, like we are able
Yeah.
to truly, from a spiritual perspective, I feel like I plug Jesus in everything. So take
Same
that for what
girl.
it is. But we are truly able to lay our hands on somebody and bless them every single day. We're able to pray on them. And even if they are not necessarily in a place to receive that, we know that that's something that we're able to do for them. We're able to
Yeah.
make that connection with somebody. And I think that that is just so near and dear to that servant's
Yeah.
heart. It's just
Yeah.
the best thing.
Absolutely. I mean, the power of touch is so powerful.
Yeah.
Like it is so powerful. I mean, there's a reason why people lay there and they cry in our treatment table, right? Like they feel that
Yes.
connection. And even if you're not saying anything, I mean, I've had
Mhm.
plenty of moments where I know that my clients are going through something and I get to pray for them while they're sitting there in silence. And they have no idea
Yeah.
that I'm even saying a little prayer in my head because I know that they're going through a lot. But like that's why your clients trust you. They may not even know why they have
Mhm.
this connection with you, but like I always root it back to God. I mean, I
Mhm.
know that I have that in my heart and just it's been such a beautiful thing to like do it with my clients and other people in the space and I love that you have a heart for Jesus and I think it's so important. I mean, I
Yeah.
all my success I give thanks to him.
Absolutely. There's nothing that I don't know how people honestly go through a day without Jesus
I
because I
know.
can't. But
We all need
you know,
Jesus.
we all, I have actually this little wooden thing that our nurse practitioner Alicia got it as a joke and hid it in our office, but it goes over top of the door frame and it's like Jesus peeking out and he's saying, "I saw that." And now I have it
Yes.
in my room. They started to throw it away. I was like, "You can't throw away Jesus. He's going to
Wait,
come to
that's
my room with me."
hilarious.
So so he is. He's in everything that we do, and it is just
Aw.
it's a blessing that we're able to share that in a very direct, indirect way.
Yes,
It's a
absolutely.
beautiful thing. Well, I
I know,
love
you don't have to
that.
shove it down people's faces, but
Yeah.
they just know. You know in your heart.
Yes, absolutely. And for the estheticians out there that are the empaths that absorb all of that energy, that is totally normal. Know that
Yes.
you are not alone in that. I think that we all do
Wait.
that. I think that
Oh, yeah.
that is just, I feel like that's just an esthetician thing, that like we
Oh,
are
yeah.
such a empathetic type group that just
I
wants to
know.
take all the negativity and put positivity in,
Mhm.
and we end up carrying a lot of that ourselves.
Oh, yeah. No,
And
I mean, I carry so much throughout my day, and then I come home and my poor husband, he's like,
get stumped on.
has so many amazing ideas and he's fired up, ready to go. And I'm like, I need silence
Yeah.
for 30 minutes. Please don't talk to me. I just had a long day.
30 minutes, thank you.
I know, exactly. See you in 30. BRB.
Yes. I
Need to
love
decompress my emotions now.
absolutely. I think again, that's where community comes back into within the
Yeah,
esthetician community. It's just we all need each other so that when we're making that connection with our patients and our clients and we're absorbing that, we have somewhere to go that understands what we're going through in our business journey
yeah.
too. So I love that. I love that you're bringing that to the industry. Thank you so much for joining us today on The Bright Side. It was such a thrill to have you. And I guess, well, first, everybody come and see us at Aesthetic Next in September.
Yes.
We will be speaking on that podcasting panel, The Voices of Aesthetics, as well as then the Aesthetic Experience in February. You can get your tickets
Yes.
now. Where else can everybody find you?
Skin by You AZ on Instagram, and then on Patreon, it's on Patreon. You'll if you just type in Optimize Aesthetics on Instagram or Patreon, you'll easily find us. But yeah, we're so excited. Come to the event. If um you can get $50 off too by using code Skin by You 50.
Woohoo! We love a good
Yay.
code for a discount.
Well, thank you so much for having me today. It was such a pleasure and it was amazing chatting with you today.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see you so soon in person.
Yes. I know. I can't wait to physically meet you.
Yes, officially. All right, guys, we will see you next time on the Bright Side of Beauty podcast. Bye.